Oh, hi. Happy holidays. It is officially Christmas season, Hanukkah season. So I have my mug that I use all year round, even though it's Christmassy. And I have my Christmas tree that was my grandmother's that is lopsided and crooked and can't stand on its own, so it has to be in a corner. But I love it because it was my grandmother's, and yeah. In the spirit of Thanksgiving and gratitude, I just want to say to you, my subscriber or viewer, thank you for watching these videos and for commenting and sharing. So thank you for being along with me on this journey. I really, truly appreciate it. Cheers. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll take the time to do that now. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jody. I am on a journey to create the life I want and deserve, and I'm sharing my story along the way. Today I'd like to share, completely off the cuff and unscripted, about the 7 things that I believe all grown-ups should know, especially those who are adult children of alcoholics. So more than 10 years ago, I had been in this grown-up land for a few years, and I took a look around at my fellow grown-ups, and they fell into 2 categories. One, they were very determined to make their dreams happen. They had a very clear vision for what they wanted out of life, and they had a plan to make that happen. And then there was the more populated group, which was people who had kind of settled for life as it had become. They had let go of their dreams. They had just settled into what was kind of a subpar version of what they may have dreamed of as a kid. And ever since I began paying attention to those grown-ups around me, and since I've been on this journey of creating the life that I want and deserve, I have recognized that there are these key things that I believe all grown-ups should know, especially those who come from these kind of dysfunctional, tough experiences such as adult children of alcoholics or kids who came from any other kind of dysfunctional family system. One is you are not alone. So I, along with many people I've met over the last several years, spent their childhoods, their teenage years, and their young adult years feeling like a lot of their problems and feelings and issues were unique to them. And part of that is that we don't talk about issues and problems. It's getting a lot better today, but when I was growing up, nobody talked about that. So I really felt like all those problems were unique to me and my family. Hello, kitty. You are not alone. The odds are that you know more people who are going through or have experienced very tough things than you do people who had easy, stress-free lives. People are screwed up. They come from imperfect families, dysfunctional environments, they have insecurities, mental health issues, worries. The list goes on. You're not alone in your struggles. There are likely millions of people who have a variation of your story. Now, everyone is unique and special, so there's no one exact person who's going through exactly all the things that you are. But there are millions of people who are going through similar things. Two is, you caused nothing. All of the crap that went wrong in your life, whether it was addiction in your family, divorce, mental health issues, narcissistic parents, whatever the traumatic thing was in your life early on, you didn't cause any of it. Let go of any kind of guilt that you have that you had something to do with that. You are only responsible for yourself. 3 is, you control only you. This is a very hard concept for those of us who grew up in dysfunctional environments in which we had to step up and be like many adults. But now I recognize that I literally have no control over anything else but myself. I can't control any other people, and that means that when you are in control of yourself, you have to set boundaries to make sure that you are doing your job, which is to take good care of yourself. I often think of my life as having like a video game controller, right? Where you're marching forth in this crazy wild world, and there are all kinds of things out there blocking your path, trying to get after the same things as you, trying to use you so that they can get ahead in their path. All along this journey, just like in a video game, you have adversarial challenges that you have to overcome and be strategic and be wise about how you maneuver yourself out of that to protect yourself and to get what you ultimately want. It is difficult, and it takes time to learn those skills, just like when you're learning a video game. You have to understand how the rest of the world works. You have to understand what boundaries, what you need to do to protect yourself. And another difficult concept for those of us who come from similar backgrounds is healing from codependency. And that is a very big buzzword out there, you know, mainstream over the last several decades, but it is truly a thing. And even those who know what it means have a difficult time recognizing it in themselves. And how I view codependency in a non-clinical term way is just feeling like you have to hold on to or take care of other beings in order for you to take good care of yourself. So a sense of needing or a sense of being needed makes you feel like you're whole or you're complete, and that's a very unhealthy way of taking good care of yourself. And here is the biggest one. Which number am I on? 4. You have just one job in life. This is it. That is the only thing that you have to do from the day you were born to the day you die, and that is to take good care of you. That means you have to take care of the basics, making sure you have enough to eat and that you're sleeping and that you have all of the basics that you need in order to survive. And then from there, the next layer is to make sure that you are safe and have serenity, that you are happy, that you are giving yourself the life that you want and deserve. With all the responsibilities that get added on when you have a family, it's difficult to separate all of those responsibilities. But ultimately, foundationally, your only job in life is to take good care of yourself. If you don't do that, then how can you possibly help do anything good for anybody else? You'll be a better parent, spouse, sibling, child, friend, coworker. Every single relationship you have with other human beings and furry creatures will be better when you are taking good care of you. 5. 5 is my current favorite because I am so excited about the future. Let's just go and make this future awesome. Your future is completely undefined, and this is the topic that I get the most feedback on from people because they say, all kinds of questions about predetermined lives based on past experiences and how it's unfair to say that people who grew up in traumatic environments have the ability to create the life that they want and deserve because of how their brains were programmed and all the terrible things that happened to them. But I have met so many people who came from the most traumatic, terrible experiences in their lives, and by textbook definition, some clinical person would probably say the odds of this person breaking that cycle are very slim because cycles repeat in families. But I can't believe it, because I have met too many people who have totally created lives the opposite of what the odds said they could do. I believe strongly in the human spirit and soul to make things happen, to find some outside strength and hope. 6 is simply that you've already turned the key into the ignition, backed the car out, put the wheels in motion, stepped on the gas, and started down a path. If you're watching this video, you're likely into self-improvement, self-help. You've already started down a path of improving your life and achieving goals. And 7 is you already know the path. When I landed in grown-up land and I fell into such a deep depression that I didn't even want to live anymore, I only went looking for help in complete desperation. And I wanted so badly for someone to hand me a playbook, a guidebook, a step-by-step tool for me to know what to do next to turn my life around, to save my life. Now, I was specifically realizing that I needed to heal from my adult child of an alcoholic syndrome, but it applies to anyone. It doesn't exist. No one's going to be able to hand over a sheet of paper and to tell you what to do. You find your path by simply trying and learning and doing all the things that you need to do to take good care of yourself, to push yourself out of your comfort zone, to do things that are scary and that might feel wrong because you're not used to doing the right thing for you. Once I started taking good care of myself, getting enough sleep, taking classes about things that I was interested in, things that I had loved to do as a girl, I made friends with people who were like me. It opened my world. I started attending meetings. I read books about what the heck had happened to me, and I realized I was completely normal, and it set a foundation that enabled me to start on my journey. And through the stories of others, through this education, that my path has illuminated, and my path is different from other people, but it has been inspired by the words of others and the more time that I've spent just out there. And I feel that I'm kind of on that cusp again of change, of growing. I have come so far in my journey where I couldn't even recognize my thinking or who I was a few years ago. I hope that you are healing from past experiences that are difficult and tough, because so many of us have. I hope that you are actively building the life that you want and deserve, and that you are actually maybe enjoying this holiday season.